Folks, it is the second best time of year. All right. We all know the best time of year is opening day. And the only thing that can match that is playoff time. So today, we have brought some of the playoff contenders all together in one room to kind of see what's going on. You know, we got Ronald Reagan, finished the season at 15-6, taking first place in the East. We got Joe Johnson, finished 12-9, and you want to talk about a comeback story, man? This guy right here, whew. We got Cleveland Rocks, who won the West with a 16-5 record, and then last but not least, we have Pablo Sanchez, who is 15-6. Now, boys. So here's the thing: we've got Jonathan, we've got Isaiah, and we've got Joel. You three have pretty much you've won the league every single year that we've had it, which has been a long time. Joe, you're the new guy, so I'm gonna let you kick it off. How was your season this year? Because I know when we talked before, it wasn't bad, right? But you know, you knew you could have done more, and you finished. You did it. You came back.
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever you draft Otani, you've always got a chance to win every week. Unfortunately, it's gotten to a point where now he's not pitching, so I don't have that kind of arsenal that I had earlier in the year. But it goes back to injuries, really, and drafting day one, you know, and picking Jacob deGrom in the second round ultimately costed me only him getting 6 appearances on the year. So yeah, I mean it's been an ups and downs with the waiver wire and trying to acquire guys and put pieces together. But just to be able to make it to the playoffs with the juggernauts of the league who have reigned upon the fantasy, the fandom that we call fantasy baseball for so long, and me being a newcomer and just my second year, I feel deeply accomplished with how far I've made it, no matter what happens going here on out.
Nice. Now, Jonathan, how many championships do you have?
I believe it is 3.
3. Isaiah, how many championships you got?
2.
2. Joel, how many championships you got?
I'm sure.
I think 2.
2? You think so?
Past 2 years, yeah.
I might have 3, actually, turns out.
So,
I'm not
Joe,
sure.
This is what you're up against, man. What's it going to take to beat them? What's it going to take to win it all?
Oh man, I mean, a little bit of luck probably, but just it's tough at this point in the year because I look at everyone's rosters and just so deep with pitchers. Before the video started, we were talking about how deep Joel's roster looked with the pitchers that he got. Jordan Steele after 200 picks, he got. Kota Stang has been great. It's just certain teams. These players, these commissioners right here in front of us, just so smart and intelligent when it comes to adjusting their lineups, and they've done it for so long that I think at this point, year 3 is what I'm kind of looking at. Regardless of what happens here in this round, I'm looking at year 3 and how I can draft and beat these guys and hopefully stay healthy to be back here.
Yeah. Well, I know you're not the only one that wants to see them all lose. Now, from you guys, I'm going to kind of ask all 3 of you a very, very similar question. Now, I don't want you to give up any secrets, right? But, Jonathan, right now you're winning by, 45 points-ish or whatnot. What is your goal, and what do you think you need to do to stay ahead? You've already got a little bit of a lead, right? But there's a lot of time left.
Yeah. So I believe the last 2 days I haven't had a single pitcher go. And I know I got 3 going tomorrow. I think I got 3 more going on Sunday. So as long as those guys throw good games, I think I have a pretty good chance of staying ahead. And I think that was my goal from the beginning. Just take it day by day, keep the lead, and I didn't have to do anything spectacular. You just got to stay ahead, get ahead and stay ahead. And I think that's the way to win in this league. Once you're chasing, then you're dropping pitchers that maybe you don't want to drop, and got to pick some guys up that, who knows, give you -15 one day and 6 the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get ahead and you can stay ahead, then I think you're in a pretty good spot. And I was able to do that this week.
Yeah. Well, you two are going against each other, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, you kind of got the short end of the stick here. But, Jonathan, what have you seen from Joe that actually might, I don't want to say scare you, right? Because we're never going into any of these things scared. But what have you seen from him this year that kind of makes you take this a little more seriously?
You never know what you're gonna get with Joe, ever. Uh, he could throw up 400 points in a week, and it catches you off guard. Or I'm sure there's weeks where he hasn't even put up over 200 points. So once that team of his gets hot, they get hot. So as long as in these last couple days, a couple of those guys don't just turn it on with a switch, I think I'll be all right. I was scared going into this matchup. And then old Otani went and hurt his UCL, and then I kind of was like, okay, I think I'll be all right.
So we're going to switch over to the other matchup here, which is Mr. Joel against Isaiah. Now, I know you two, there might be a little bit more in this than just fantasy baseball because the same blood runs through both your veins, right? We got Joel is currently winning. Okay, he's up. He's up by 110 points. So we're gonna start with Isaiah. Isaiah, what do you have to do to get back into this game?
Well, I'll tell you, Skip. I will. So we're gonna need some more pitching coming out of these last few days. We got 3 going on Saturday. We got 3 on Sunday. Those boys need to show up. But more importantly, we now have 6 relief pitchers on our team pitching every day. They need to start showing up. We've had 6 on our team for the last 3 days. How many saves have we had, Josiah? 0 saves. 0. All right. One blown save, no saves. So we need to just get our heads back into the game and put up 120 points today or tomorrow.
So, Joel, all right, you're up by 110. Is this comfy? Is this a walk in the park for you right now, or how you feeling?
You know, it never really. You're never really sure. You never know. There's never really a big enough lead. Maybe 200 points, but I mean, it's always possible to have. I mean, the first day, I honestly just had some luck. I had 5 pitchers start, and 2 of them did incredible, and another couple did really well. So I put up 125 in one day, and that's possible from Isaiah's team. I've seen his pitchers, I've seen his roster, and so I'm feeling good, but not like 100% sure by any means. I got some more pitchers going. I was kind of concerned I would be concerned if I had maybe like 1 or 2 pitchers left to throw. I don't think I have any today, maybe 1. But looking down the road, I think on Sunday I got Steele going again. I think Burns going again against the Nationals. So that makes it feel pretty good and pretty secure. But you never know. It's fantasy baseball, and I mean, you got apparently 6 relievers on the team. If they all get a save, that's
Points.
It could be 60 points, and yeah, he's right back in it. So
This is kind of going to be a question for all of you. We're going to go again with Joe, then Jonathan, Isaiah, and then Joel. Looking back at this season, where do you kind of put this season as when you're ranking them across your past seasons? I know the 3 of you have a lot of championships here. Joe, you're kind of newer, so you can say what you want to say. But I also want to know what the other 3 think as well. Joe?
Yeah, I mean, in 2 seasons, it's definitely my best. Being able to draft Otani and build pieces around him. But I'll say, like, down the road at this point, September, lacking depth is something I definitely lack between the other 3 contestants here in the playoffs. So, looking to go forward and build depth in year 3 for sure.
Yeah. Jonathan?
Out of all my seasons, I don't even think this is a top 3 season. Very, very, very inconsistent. About all I can say about this team right now. I made some really, really good moves down near the end of the season. People said they were open to trades. I sent trades. I got some dogs. Have all those dogs worked out? No, they haven't. Scherzer's down. Verlander's kind of trash now. But sometimes you got to make moves, right? And because this isn't one of my best teams, I had plenty of teams who were much better than this one. I had to make those moves, and it's got me where I am today. That number 1 seed, where you want to be.
Isaiah.
Top 3 for sure. Good season overall. We had some good storylines. The last few weeks of the season were perfect too, with everybody kind of playing for the first seed, and then Joe and Danielle having the same record, so being able to play 2 weeks down there too. I mean, yeah, it was a really good season. My team had a really good year too, but just got. I'll get back to that later.
Joel.
Thanks, Gil.
The this is maybe my third. I mean, the last 2 years when I've won it, I think my teams were way better than my team this year. I'm honestly, I mean, I knew I'd make the playoffs, but I didn't think that I'd really have a good. I thought I'd get beat in the playoffs. I just didn't have the depth. People weren't performing. Lindor and Bregman weren't doing too great. Yeah, so I just felt not super great about this team, but they've come through this week, and it's been huge.
So we're going to do a little bit of a lightning round here, and then I'm going to ask a question that's probably going to get a little bit further away from playoff talk, and then we'll come back into it. So who's winning this year? Who's taking the ship? Joe, one word.
Joel.
Jonathan.
Joel.
Hey,
Isaiah.
Joe.
Joel.
Oh man,
It's called a lightning round. Lightning doesn't strike for 30 seconds, bud.
I think me. I think me.
All right. Well, Jonathan is the only one that thinks that he can dethrone you this year.
I just have to show some sort of confidence in my team.
I mean, I think the tie's showing a good amount. I like it. I
Appreciate
like
that.
it.
Thank you.
So, who were you when you guys look at the league this year? Right. Obviously, a lot of teams didn't make the playoff. Who were your big winner and your big loser of the teams that did not make the playoffs? Joe.
We start with me. Nick was a loser after week 5. I'd say Danielle, just because she started so high out the gate, and everybody was kind of intimidated by her team and how she looked, 6-0, and then just kind of fell off, and I was able to beat her into the playoffs. So those are my top 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in opposite direction. I think Danielle's a big winner this year. This is the first year she has shown any kind of competence in fantasy baseball, and she's been in it for the entire time. So to show that turnaround, who knows next year? Who knows what could happen? My biggest loser, his team name is Angel Hernandez for president. I believe he had a lot of opportunities, and my dude just doesn't know how to run a team. It is some of the worst run baseball I've seen in our time, because there's effort put into it, right? But the effort is just wrong.
Okay, so now that he's muted, Isaiah.
I thought I had an easy answer in Nick. I mean, of course, the strong candidate in this, right? Like the fact that he pretends at the beginning of the season to himself that this year will be different, and then each year be the same result.
Well, it gets worse. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is. So next year, around this time in 6 months, we'll be hearing Nick talking the same stuff. He'll be swinging it around. But now that Jonathan does mention you, Josiah, too, I gotta say that that might be the main one there. Just a lot of expectation for the season, a lot of hope put into it. But ESPN knew all along, it seems, putting him at 1% with the same amount of wins as the winning team in the division. But I think those are my losers. Big winner of this year, Jonathan and Joel, putting up the record scores in the final 2 weeks, and then this week in the playoffs.
Do you have a big winner of a team that did not make the playoffs this year?
Yeah. Sorry. Honestly, it's kind of got to be Uncle Dave. I gotta say, of all the determination to start out 0-12 and then end the season 4-4, I mean that takes some dedication, takes some sticking with it, and also I was looking. He got scored on by far the most of anyone in this league. So, how much of that was due to bad luck versus his own coaching? Who's to say?
I think you also have to look at him. These last 8 weeks, Trey Turner got hot. It's almost looking like a good number one pick, but not picking Otani
Mm,
Yeah,
hurt.
could have led to that 0-12.
Joel, big winner, big loser. Who we
Yeah,
got?
I think I gotta go big loser, Uncle Dave. I mean, were we expecting a ton after the Trey Turner first round pick? No, but I think personally, I'm just fundamentally opposed to his coaching style, where you drop top tier pitchers or batters after one bad performance. That's just not sustainable in a league this competitive. So yeah, big loser there. Big winner, Springfield Isotopes. Tyler Simpson came in, turned that team around. I mean, he came in, inherited a rough team, made a ton of drops and ads, turned it around really well. I thought he might have a shot at playoffs for a little bit there. Maybe sneak in a wild card, but didn't get it. But I think next year that's going to be one to look out for in another competitive league.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the turnaround he made in that team was exponentially better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to bring it back to the playoffs just a little bit more here. How, if any, and this is just kind of free reign, I'm not really going to ask this if you don't have an answer, but how have the adjusted rules of this year's playoffs affected the way you guys have made decisions for your lineup as far as adding and dropping and even the play-in game, Joe, those types of things? Is there anything different that you guys had to do, or is it something that you just haven't really had to think about?
I guess I'll start off by saying, this is my second year, first time making the playoffs. I really haven't added or dropped too much people, although I realized, because I guess fantasy football has been on my mind more recently now, with me being in 5 leagues than baseball. So I haven't really focused too much on the add or drop. But I had Blanco on my team who got upped into AAA, and I just noticed that like a couple of days ago. So I was just kind of rolling with him, my starting lineup, not really aware that he wasn't even in the majors anymore. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
For me this year, I carried one more pitcher than I normally do. I usually carry a batter on the bench. I didn't do that this year because I knew I needed those extra points to get that playing game.
I think I would say not yet, but I think I will once this next round of games comes in, and I mean theoretically if I make it, but I mean because that's when Corbin Burns doesn't pitch anymore, and you drop him and pick someone else up, and things start going haywire. So that'll change it there and what the approach is. But so far, I don't think it's been too much. I tend to stick with my people maybe more than other people generally. So, yeah.
All right, boys. As we come to the end of our time, I think we can look at this. I think all of y'all's head is in the right space, to be honest with you. 3 of you guys chose Joel to win the championship, and then we have lonely Jonathan up there who thinks that he's going to take it. Now, in all fairness, if these two start playing for the championship, there's going to be some fireworks. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be one heck of a game. Is there anything else that you guys want to say before I let you go and before we start week 2 of the first round of the championship, or of the playoffs?
Good luck to Jonathan, man. You're going to do great in the next round. I don't think I really have a chance.
So you're
Yeah, I think there's a chance there. I definitely think there's a chance.
You never know, but
Yeah,
again, I have like maybe one pitcher going like each day. He's got 3 the next 2. I'm just
but those 3 could all go negatives, hard negatives.
Yeah, Scooble's going to put a no-hitter. He's no-hitting tonight against the Angels.
They'll pick up some relief pitchers.
I've had 2 no-hitters this year, and I think that maybe I'm in for another one. I'm feeling it.
What?
Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Well, boys, thank you for joining me. Joe, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was on the phone with Isaiah the other day, and I said, I don't want Jonathan to win. I don't want Joel to win. I don't want Isaiah to win because they've all won. But I also don't want you to win because then I can't make fun of you anymore. So
Right.
I don't really care who wins at this point, but I will say I do think that the most competitive 4 teams are in it. I think these games are going to be fun, and regardless of who moves on, I think it's going to be a really, really exciting last 2 weeks of the season. And I really do appreciate that you guys put all the work in that you did, throughout the year. I mean, baseball is a long, difficult year. Fantasy football, you got 3 days a week they play. Baseball, it's every single day, And so I appreciate the grind. Again, thank you for coming on. And whoever makes the next round, we're going to try to get you on here again. I guess Joe has some closing words for us. What do we got, Joe?
I just want to say, Josiah, thank you for all the work and effort you have done to kind of make this bigger than what it is. Like, I love it. I'm so much more involved because of how you conduct the interviews, and you just make the league like almost like real life, like how we're like all analysts and or like owners and stuff. So it's been really fun. I love being involved in the league, and I can't wait to be involved for years to come.
Well, hey, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, because if you didn't, I would have some free time. But no, I try to make it fun. I appreciate you guys coming on, and I appreciate, everything you've done.
Yeah, really do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes.